Hello and welcome to the 5th episode of our Heartfulness Wellness webinars. My name is Eva and today we're going to be discussing on the topic of strengthening mind, body and spirit through the practice of yoga. Joining us today we have Dr. Veronique Nicholai. Dr. Dolly, as she's often called, is joining us from Chennai, where she has been residing for the past 20 years. Dr. Veronique is currently director of the Heartfulness Yoga School based in Kanha in Hyderabad, India. She has been a meditation trainer for over 12 years and has been practicing heartfulness meditation for the past 25 years. She has specialized in meditation support for patients with cancer and fertility issues. Our second guest today is Amar Srividya. Hello, Amar. He's a freelance yoga trainer based out of Bangalore, India. He's been teaching and sharing the practice of yoga for the past 6 years, both at home in India and abroad in Europe. He has much experience in Ashtanga, Hatha, prenatal, Shivananda, and has even trained with the Bihar School of Yoga. Previous to this, he was working in the corporate world, where he decided to quit his job in HR to follow his true passion, which is to inspire people to connect with their inner selves and to explore their true potential. Okay, so guys, today we're on the topic of strengthening the mind, body, and spirit through yoga. So first of all, I want to ask you each, how did you come to the practice of yoga? Was it something you've always done at home, or did you find it later on in life? Dolly, let's start with you.
So hi, Eva and Amar. Very nice to be with you all this evening. So I started reverse compared to many people. I started with the heartfulness practice and meditation when I was a student, medical student. And my interest started specifically with the technique we're going to do together with the cleaning part, which I find extremely useful exactly for what we're dealing with right now, which is crisis and stress, because I was doing night duties, and for me to be able to cope with the stress of being a medical student, having to work at night, take decisions, sleepless nights and all, this clinic practice was really the thing that hooked me. So I entered the world of yoga through actually Raja Yoga, so a technique which is more with the mind. I joined the world of Asanas, which I'm practicing right now and teaching with Amar and a big team of people much later. And it was also with this idea, I actually fell. I had an accident and broke my shoulder going to a meditation session. And I realized that if I had been a little stronger on my legs, I might not have lost my balance. And I thought, this is something that I should really take care about. I should not just do, work as a doctor and then taking care of others. And I also have to take care of myself, not only the stress level, but also at the physical level. And I found that really yoga is doing that. It's really a holistic approach to wellness and being. So since then, I've been teaching both, and I really encourage people to be trained in that.
Wow, lovely. Thank you for sharing, Dolly. And to you, Amar, how did you come across yoga or begin?
Namaste. Thank you for inviting and to so that I can share my thoughts and experience. So I started when I used to watch my grandparents practicing yoga when I was studying in college. So I used to be very fascinated. They used to tell me practicing yoga is very revitalizing and it helps. And I used to see that they used to have joint pains and the pain was relieved with yoga practice. So, but I was not so inclined towards yoga during that time. After completing my business management studies, I joined corporate and I worked in corporate for 6 years. So during my work time, I used to see people with chronic back pain and neck pain, stiffness in the body, and consuming medicines quite often. And they used to undergo different stressful situations, and they had a tough time coping up with the stress. So I had a break during my work time in the 6th year. So I had a 1-week break where I was in Mumbai. I happened to walk into a yoga institute where I heard a lecture on yogic lifestyle and how do you bring moderation in your lifestyle. They were explaining one shloka from Bhagavad Gita, which was talking about the diet. Yukta harasya viharasya, yukta cheshtasya karmasu, yukta swapna avabodhasya, yogo bhavati dukkhaha. So what you eat will change your thought pattern. And eating is not only your food, what you receive from the sense organs, like what you see, what you hear, and what you chat among your friends. So this really inspired me after the lecture. I came back to Bangalore and then I extended my break from work and I enrolled for a yoga program and started practicing yoga. So I could see that I could feel so much. I used to feel physically more stronger, and I used to feel the stiffness has reduced, and I could sleep well. And I could experience my breathing, and at the same time, I could have the state of calmness. When I was working in office, I used to be anxious when I used to conduct events. So my anxiousness also reduced, and I felt very calm and more relaxed. So then I decided, it's like to, from the corporate field, move into yoga field. And what the essence of yoga, what I experienced physically and mentally, wanted to share it to more people and inspire more people so that they experience this contentment. So after that, I decided to get into yoga field professionally and wanted to understand yoga in deeper. What are the deeper aspects of yoga? What is it? Only is it about asana and pranayama? Is that yoga about? To understand more, to deepen my knowledge, I went to S. Vyasa to do my master's course in yoga. So there I understood how yoga originated and about yoga sutras described by Sage Patanjali about what is the state, what is the purpose of yoga? How do you experience samadhi state, self-realization? So there I could connect how the journey of self through self happens and what are the different steps you need to take to experience that. So since then I have been conducting various workshops in India and I have conducted several workshops overseas. So, and it's been a wonderful experience and I'm loving it, and I really have been enjoying to share my experience and learn more.
Very good. Thank you, Amar. So you noticed practically a real strengthening of your mind and body, you said. So this is something I come from Ireland, and we often in the West tend to focus on the proof or the science behind these things that we talk about, anything. So Dolly, you being the doctor here, I want to ask you, is there any scientific proof that yoga can help to strengthen the mind and body?
So there's now a lot of research, done on meditation, the effect of meditation on the mind, on the brain. So, but I think that there are many articles there to look forward. The best is always to do your own experience, and this is what I really liked with the yoga. And straight when I started with Heartfulness, to feel what does it do on me. I don't actually mind if there's an article saying it's working, but is it working for me? And like Amar was saying, we are really looking at something that is holistic. And the more I'm, practicing and including all the parts of Ashtanga yoga, that means from the lifestyle, through asana, pranayama, and meditation, and the stages of meditation, which actually encompasses the body and the mind. Okay, yoga is not only about asanas, and people who actually do yoga, they know that. People who are a little bit beginners, or very often in the West, we're thinking only asanas. It's a lifestyle, and even if you do it not knowing, you will feel, you know, the effect on your system. And why does it work so well? For me, it's really the exercise and maybe the sport, although I don't like to call it a sport, that let's say the physical activity that has the most the deepest and the long-lasting effect compared to any other sports. So I've been, before, you know, I was thinking yoga is more for elder people. It's too slow for me. First, you will know, for example, if you practice with Amar, that you can practice also, you know, your endurance and, you know, every kind of yoga. So you can do a relaxing yoga, can be adapted to any person. And whatever you do is going to work on all the layers we're made of. And so when I started my medical studies, you know, what I find a little bit of limitation in the way I was trained was because I was trained about looking at the gross body, okay, essentially, and the mind, but we didn't have a complete integration of everything. And what yoga does is that we talk about the gross body, the energetic body, the mind, with different, you know, the wisdom and the mind, the buddhi and ahankar, the ego also, and until the core of your body. So that was for me suddenly a revelation. When I practice asanas, when I practice pranayama, when I practice meditation, I actually touch all these layers. And because, you know, it has effect also on the brain has, in the brain, you know, in the skull, we have those two systems, command systems of that regulate all our metabolism and our body. It's the nervous system and the endocrine system. So the, you know, the one that leads, you know, the gland that leads all the other glands is situated inside, deep inside the brain. And this is where we understand suddenly that metabolism, that means all our physiology, is actually very much linked with our brain, our thought process, and specifically with our emotions. So here we are talking about the human being as an emotional human being. So now when I do yoga, asanas, pranayamas, and mudras, and, you know, more subtle practices like meditation, cleaning that we will do today, we can affect very deeply at the deepest level of the human being and feel the long-lasting changes that will be there at the emotional level, at the mind level. Habits can be changed, and it also starts with the body. So in my experience, for example, I've felt, and now we use that, you know, when we teach, that we have people, for example, who have a difficulty in expressing themselves, or feel shy, or have depression. We will use certain asanas that we call heart opening, for example. So you can use the tool of the body to access the mind. So it's very integrated. And this is what I've liked, you know, in my discovery of what yoga is really, especially at that level of caring for others, you know. So I really like this tool, and yes, I'm still a doctor, but I like to teach that even more than prescribing any other medicine. We are here in lifestyle management and also prevention, which is much more interesting for a doctor.
Lovely. Okay. So you're saying yoga works beyond the physical. So could it help me deal with certain emotions that I'm feeling right now? So maybe this is a question for you, Amar. Currently, I'm at home 24/7, 7 days a week, and I find a lot of anxiety arising in me. So some collective fear, some anxiousness is coming into my body. So is there anything that I can do through the practice of yoga to help to alleviate this anxiety?
Yes, definitely. There are there are some simple practices you can practice on a daily basis, which will help you to overcome anxiety, and which will make you more joyful. So it goes like this. Relaxation is very important. Sometimes we rest and we sleep well, sleep for a longer duration. We feel that that is leading us to more relaxation. But sometimes the quality is important. How you breathe. So breathing plays a very vital role. So sometimes you are agitated, anxious, anxiety with a lot of thoughts and disturbance. You need to start with simple understanding of the breath, how the breath works, and what is the state of your mind at that point of time. I'll show you simple breathing exercise. You place your palm on your navel, okay? So, and you close your eyes and take 5 deep breaths. When your abdomen is moving, when you inhale, the abdomen bulges out. When you exhale, the abdomen is going in. When you breathe, when you focus on your breathing, when the breathing happens through the abdomen, abdominal breathing, it relaxes your body and mind. When the mind is relaxed, the body is relaxed, you feel anxiety reduces automatically. So this is one of the practice. The second practice is Nadi Shodhan Pranayama. It is called Anulom Vilom Pranayama in some schools. And there are 72,000 nadis in our system. So we emphasize on 3 main nadis, that is Ida, Pingla and Sushumna Nadi. Okay. In the left nostril, it is called Ida, right nostril breathing, it is Pingla Nadi. So in some schools we call it as Chandra Bhedana, the moon, and this is the sun, Surya Bhedana. Okay. So when you inhale, you just have to inhale through your left nostril. Exhale through left nostril. You can and with joyfully doing, you can count. You inhale, close your left nostril, exhale, 1, 4. You inhale, close your right nostril, exhale through left nostril. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this helps to balance your right and left hemisphere of the brain, working on your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Sometimes when you're feeling very agitated, you're unable to sleep because of thoughts. So you just breathe through left nostril. So it calms your mind and you feel more relaxed. But when you do alternate nostril breathing, it balances. Too much of relaxation also might lead to dullness. So when you are in the balanced state, so it calms you, makes you more relaxed, makes you more receptive. So you have to do it for about 5 to 10 rounds every day. And if you feel agitated, you start with the abdominal breathing followed by alternate nostril breathing. So you will feel the difference in a few days. One more practice, it is called Bhramari Pranayama. Bhramari is the honeybee sound. Okay. So when you have to practice, you can place one palm on the crown of the head and one palm at the pit of the throat, to experience the vibration. Okay. So when you inhale and take a deep breath, with exhalation, you exhale with a humming sound. When you have sweet, you say the same sound, you have to prolong it with your breath, with exhalation. Okay, so I'll demonstrate. Please watch. One hand, I'm keeping it on the crown of the head, one at the pit of the throat. Inhale. You need to do this practice for minimum 5 to 10 times. This creates vibration in your throat region and on the crown of the head. And this vibration creates happy hormone in the system, which it releases serotonin. So you feel very happy, very relaxed, energizes the cells in the cranial region in your and brain cells, and at the same time calming your system, and relaxes, makes you more calm, makes you more receptive, and you feel very relaxed. Mind is relaxed, body is relaxed. Breath is the bridge between the body and the mind. So these three practices, practicing every day, taking 15 minutes of your time, so it will help you to experience the calmness and joyfulness.
Lovely. Thank you, Amar. I'm definitely going to use these in the next few weeks at home myself. Okay, and you mentioned the word dullness, and this I found resonates with me. So because I'm at home all day long and often sedentary, sitting down, I find myself quite lethargic and sometimes even lacking energy to get up, to stand up and move. So is there any yoga, I guess you would call them asanas, I could do? Maybe Dolly, you can help me here? Any asanas I can do for energy?
So we do,
Yes.
we do have, maybe we can show the slides with the asanas. Simple asanas that we practice. Yeah, so very simple asanas that everybody can do without any contraindications, okay? That allows actually these 5 movements of the spine to happen, okay? So why do we pay attention more on the spine? Along, you know, the fact that the spine is the repository of the spinal cord, which is the central nervous system, not peripheric. It's central nervous system, so it treats information and sends back signals. The spine also is part of the axial system of our body and has all the chakras aligned to it. So that means that all our center of energy are aligned to the chakras. So moving the spine in all its direction will help you just to do, you know, a simple energy boost for your physical movement. Everybody can do this. There's really no contraindication. We can also do it if you can't stand. We can do it for, you know, older people sitting on the chair, the same movement. Stretching, like you can see on the first one, a back arch, okay? And then a lateral arch to both sides. And on the next slide, we will do a twist, okay? So taking your hands at shoulder level and looking over your back shoulder. And then you can do something for confidence, which is Vrikshasana. And if you cannot bring your foot to the level of the thigh, you can just keep it next to your other foot on the floor. There are modifications. And also keep your hands on the thigh if you want, on the waist, okay? And then one forward bend. So here we are showing you 6 simple asanas that will help you to move this energy. And if you practice it when you get up in the morning, you know that getting up in the morning is the first small thing that you should do to go into routine that we have lost because of confinement. So if you get up, do this little exercise, do the breathing that Amar has just shown you, then you will definitely feel already that your energy is circulating in a different way. And you're ready to do whatever you want to do. So we practice that every day at 6 a.m. and we have beginners, yoga sessions on our social media, so that people can after that sit at 7 o'clock for meditation. It's a wonderful way to start the day. You feel so fresh in your body, in your energy, in your mind level, and to the core of your emotional level, being, that your day starts bright. Small beginning, small things to start at the beginning will help you to have a very, very good day. Okay, it's not to achieve immense goals, but it's really to start with with a strategy for your day and with a discipline. And Amar will tell you that there are more practices that you can do to boost your confidence, like heart opening asanas and also some advanced pranayama that we are not going to demonstrate because they have a few contraindications. Amar, you want to add to this?
Yes. Yeah. So there are pranayama like Bhastrika and Kapalbhati. Bhastrika is a very powerful pranayama practice where you enhance it improves the oxygenation in your body when you forcefully inhale and exhale. So it builds your energy level, makes you more energetic and enhances your breathing. And Kapalbhati works on your abdominal organs, massages your internal organs, builds your energy level, stimulates your pancreas, stimulates your internal organs, and at the same time brings more vigor in yourself, in your practice. So, but it has to be practiced under a guidance of a competent teacher, because if you do it incorrectly, there are chances of having an adverse effect also with these practices. These practices have to be done under guidance with right coaching. We should not try to look at the book or a video to practice this. You need somebody to guide you step by step. And at the same time, when you understand properly about your breath, you have an awareness of the breath, you will be able to experience the asanas better. So understanding the breathing pattern is very important. So it will help you during your asanas, because when you practice your asanas, which is helping you to improve your self-confidence, you should ensure that you are also happy in that state. Initially, it might be a discomfort, but with regular practice, you will develop that steadiness, you should experience that steadiness. At the same time, you should experience the state of happiness. So in sutras also it's mentioned, Sthira Sukham Asana. In posture, experience that steadiness and happiness.
Lovely. Yes, maybe lack of steadiness is something that many of us are experiencing right now. Like sometimes I'm feeling maybe a bit of stress, and as I mentioned earlier, anxiety. And I've heard that this can have an adverse effect on the immune system. So what are the yogic practices that we can do to help boost our immune systems and even the health of our lungs in times like these?
Yoga asanas.
Asanas, or maybe I've heard there's mudras as well that we can do to help center the body, but I don't know anything about them. Can you share?
Okay, sure. So sometimes if you are unable to practice asanas, so what you can do, there are simple mudras. Okay, the mudra is prana mudra and dhyana mudra. So to understand the mudra, there are 5 elements in the nature. So this thumb is indicating the fire element. The forefinger is the air element. This is the space, akash we call. This is the earth element. This is the water element. When you bring your the last finger and the ring finger together, joining it with the thumb, so this is called prana mudra. Prana mudra enhances your pranic energy. Prana is not the breath. With right breathing, pranic energy enhances. Prana is the vital life force energy. So when your pranic energy is enhanced, you feel very energetic. You can practice this during any time of the day, but preferably empty stomach. So you can do it after at least 1 hour after the meal or before the meal. So, and if you feel breathlessness and if you feel lethargy during the course of the day, you can just do this at least minimum 5 to 10 minutes to experience a better result. This is called Prana Mudra. It has several benefits. It eliminates the respiratory disorders, enhances your breathing capacity, works on your lungs. You feel very rejuvenated, refreshed, increases the oxygenation in your body. So you feel very energized. So the next mudra I would like to tell you about, the Dhyan Mudra, where you join your thumb and forefinger and the middle finger and stretching the other fingers out. So Dhyan Mudra helps to improve the overall circulation in the body, energizing your nadis, increasing your enthusiasm, energy level, increasing your confidence. You feel more confident, more steady, more stable. There are some asanas when you practice, you feel more steady. So when you're unable to practice asanas, you use these mudras to experience that steadiness. You feel very low or dull, and if you feel lack of confidence, you just do this Dhyan Mudra for 5 to 10 minutes. It will boost your confidence level.
Very nice. Thank you, Amar, for sharing. And on this topic of confidence and kind of the inner emotions, so Dolly, often now because I can't go out, I can't go meet friends, I don't go to work, when I experience uncomfortable emotions, I've nowhere to run to or hide. So is there any practice I can do to help me to better sit with or hold or alleviate the uncomfortable emotions that may arise in me during this time?
Yes, so as I was telling you, this is one of the 3 pillar practices of heartfulness that we teach and that we are happy to pass on to other people. And this one was for me more important than meditation at the beginning, because I was young and I was not able to wake up in the morning and sit to meditate, but I was feeling the need to to reduce whatever had happened during my day. I immediately felt improvement on my sleep. Okay, so I could sleep better. I could sleep also less when I needed to sleep less. And I was able to have a clear thinking and to let go of some extreme emotions like fear of doing the wrong thing, or, anxiety or anger. So for anger or for, when we are all together, so especially with our dear ones, there are things that it's difficult to handle, the everyday. We are used to, and there's a lot of jokes about that right now on social media, to be with our loved ones a little bit in the morning and in the afternoon. But usually during the day, I'm doing my own stuff, So how do I deal with that? How do I deal with this proximity of people that I like, but I know too much to, to just be kind and forgiving with them? So it starts with myself. So we have a short practice that's called the cleaning that we practice for 20 minutes, usually at the end of the day. Why at the end of the day? Because however I woke up in the morning, you see, usually when I go to sleep, I distress. Okay, my body is also able to rebuild. This is why we sleep. This is the purpose of sleeping, is to rebuild and to recharge and to also boost our immune system. This is also happening because of the endocrine system that's there, starts there in my head. So when I sleep, this happens. So when I wake up, I'm calm and fine. But during the day, I build up, all these little things that have been irritating me. and I kind of accumulate them. It makes me tired usually if I go out in my office. But if I'm home, it's also there. It's not because I'm not going out that I have less tension. It's a different kind of thing. So by the evening, all these things that have left an impression, which is at the emotional level, I want to let go of that. Okay? So we sit, we close our eyes, and then we give a strong, firm will that all these impressions, that have come on me, that have affected me, are going out of my system. We say, we try to visualize that from the top of the head till the tailbone. Again, you have the entire spine there. All the chakras are there also. You don't need to visualize anything. Only from, the top of the head till the tailbone, all the impurities, all the complexities, whatever is not simple and not myself, is going out of my system through the back. Okay? So, and I have to, it is not a meditation. It's an active part where I don't relax and let things happen. I actually work on myself, repeating myself, feeling, that all this fatigue that I have accumulated, all these complexities, whatever has been disturbing me is going out. Now there's a trick here. I'm not trying to go back to my day and think, oh yeah, that happened, and here this one was nasty, and that was not nice, and here I lost it, No, because our mind is a bit tricky. So if we do that and we go back to what has happened, we re-imprint, we kind of relieve the situation. So sometimes we can reinforce it, and we can even start brooding over it. Yeah, but I was right, and or feel guilty or whatever. So that's not at all the way to do it. What I'm trying to do is whatever disturbance is, now felt on my body, for whatever reason, I'm removing the disturbance. I'm not trying to remove, the experience of what has happened. I will remember very well that something was not right, or, that I have to correct something else. But I will remove the emotional, part of this experience. And so it also helps me to look with a clear mind to, the situation, to the people around, and to be much more relaxed and centered again. So I'm removing only the emotional part, which is not necessary, and it's affecting what I'm going to do next, how I'm going to take the next decision, how I'm going to look at the person who is living next to me in the next interactions. So that's the process of cleaning that we do in the evening. We try to do it at the end of the day, not too late, because it's active. So we don't want to be, asleep. We want to be active at that time. And we have to stay active all the time. And also, if you do it early enough, for example, if you do it before dinner, before you take your dinner, or before you cook, if you're the one cooking in a, in a tired or angry state of mind is definitely affecting the way you're cooking. If you cook with happiness and lightness, which you regain with this practice, then your dish is going to be better, and the way you're going to serve it, or the way you're going to eat it, is also going to be affected. You have to remember that, if the way I approach my meals affects the way I'm going to digest. So we know that stress, for example, is stimulating the sympathetic system. The sympathetic system is the one that helps you do a fight or a flight, response to something. So if I'm in a flight or flight response because I'm stressed, my digestive system actually shuts down, because that's not the priority. I'm not trying to digest now, I'm just trying to act. I have to think fast, I have to run, my heart has to pump, and I have my serenals, giving their best, so that I can respond to that situation. So when I'm stressed, I'm actually not at all in a state to digest. So if I want to digest well, I have to remove that stress. Hence, you can do your cleaning before you eat food, before dinner. you're really going to have the best of whatever you're taking in, which is also important for our immunity right now. Whatever I eat, I should be able to digest well. So I have to stimulate my parasympathetic system, which means I have to regain that balance. So again, you know, we've talked about that with Nadishuddhi. So the alternate nostril breathing also brings back balance of the two, parasympathetic and sympathetic. The cleaning also bring back that balance, and it will allow you to sleep better and to digest better. It's an experience you have to make. And, you know, and so I think we're going to end the session with that exercise, but maybe you have more questions that you want to ask before?
Not for the moment. I would really like to try this and see. Now it's around 5:30, so just to see how it is to practice cleaning and then to go and have dinner later. So yeah, if you'd be willing to guide us in this, is that okay, Dolly?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so we'll sit for how long?
We will do it for 15 minutes together.
15, okay.
No, let's say 10 minutes together, because when you are at home, you know, it's just the same process. You extend it 15 to 20 minutes. You should feel, you know, a difference if you really extend it to 20 minutes. But I will guide you in the process for 10 minutes.
Lovely. Okay. Thank you.
So, well, it's very simple. You're going to sit comfortably. Okay, so you can lean back on your chair and sit in a way that you can sit for 10 minutes without feeling your body disturbed, you know. Hence, again, you know, doing asanas will help you also to sit comfortably. So any support is fine. Don't lie down in any of these practices, otherwise you'll fall asleep. And here, you have to be active. Okay? You close your eyes very gently. And focus on yourself with a thought that all the complexities and impurities that have been accumulated during the day are going out of your system through the back. Try to visualize from the top of the head till the tailbone all complexities, all impurities go out in the form of smoke Try to visualize your backside, all complexities, all impurities going out of your system through the back. From the top of the head till the tailbone. Do not try to review the events of the day. Just visualize yourself and have a firm conviction that all complexities are going out in the form of smoke. It's an active process. You have to put your will into it. Now gently accelerate the process. All impurities leaving your system through the back in the form of smoke. Feel that it is happening. Keep at it. As the impurities are going out, you're becoming pure again. Continue to apply your will. You're becoming simple again. At home, extend this practice until you feel some lightness in the heart. Impurities and complexities have left your being, and in this void created. Now imagine that the sacred current is entering your heart from the front. And it is helping in the process of cleaning. All complexities, all impurities are going out of your system through the back. And in its place, the sacred current is entering your heart from the front. Feel it happening. The sacred current is filling your heart completely. Every corner of your heart. Expanding to your entire body. Touching every part of your body. Every cell of your body. You have become simple again, pure again. And the practice of cleaning with a thought that the cleaning has been well done. When you feel ready, you can slowly open your eyes. So this is the practice of cleaning at home. You do it for 15-20 minutes. It's very different from meditation. How was your experience, Eva?
Oh, thank you, darling. How was yours, Amar? You?
Yeah, it was wonderful experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel a lot lighter now and much more relaxed, Dolly. So thank you. I'll
Same
definitely.
here. I feel lighter too.
Yeah, as well.
It's
So
valid
lovely.
for everyone. All of us need this practice, maybe more than ever. So, it's something that you can find easily on the website, on the Heartfulness app. You can find the audio played for yourself.
Lovely.
And it's the second pillar of the Heartfulness practice. Meditation, relaxation, meditation on the heart with yogic transmission, and this cleaning practice. Very, very effective.
So we can find all the information on www.heartfulness.org, is it, Dolly?
Yes.
Okay. And just one question, is there a certain age? If I'm a teenager, can I do this practice or?
So you can do only part of it. You can do for children, we recommend the relaxation, okay? And so of course, yoga can be done, yoga asanas. I think it's very important that children get to learn to keep actually that knowledge of the heart, which they have when they are young, but which we lose with the education, social pressure, and whatever is pulling us outside. So, but you have to be 15 to start the complete practice of heartfulness.
Okay. So this process that we've just done of cleaning is for adults at the moment?
Yes, 15. So a little before adults.
15. Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Well, guys, thank you so much for today. I've really enjoyed learning from you guys and appreciated your sharing. So thank you for coming to share with us. Thank you. Sister. And our information, the Heartfulness information, can be found on the website. And there's also the Hearts app, which you can meditate anywhere in the world. And you can also find Heartfulness on YouTube. Yeah, there's the slides for it. And then we have 3 master classes by Daji Kamalesh D. Patel, which is found on www.heartfulness.org/en/masterclass.
There's also a new, website with the heartfulness practices, and specifically, Heartfulness has made one book downloadable for free with the simple heartfulness practices. So if we could show that also to the viewers, you can look at, the simple heartfulness practices on the webinar that is common for Dr. Adiz's and Heartfulness. So Daji and Dr. Adiz's are actually coming live every Friday at 8:30, and you can find all the elements with that website, and you will get the free ebook and also some audio, guided audio like I've just done for anxiety and anger, very well done. So this is just new, just come out. I really encourage people to visit that.
Lovely. Okay, so we can connect there, and we'll insert the links at the bottom of underneath the video. So that's it for today, guys. And we look forward to seeing you for our next webinar, which is on the 12th of April at 5:30 p.m. IST, Indian time. And the topic that we will be discussing is leadership in times of crisis. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you guys.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
See you.